What is up, everybody? This is Amelin from Badlands Backlogs, and we are back on Bleep Loop Episode 8, which we're going to kind of run through introductions here fast, but we have essentially gathered everyone who's sort of been around with the site since we started to do our Fantasy Critic draft for 2024. Getting started, we did a random draft. For those that don't know, it's essentially fantasy football. You go through, I think we're drafting six tonight, pick up six throughout the year. Scoring is based off of Metacritic, so everything over 70 is 1 point, up to 90, which you start earning 2 points for. And then everyone has a counter pick, which you're essentially hoping it tanks slash doesn't release slash falls less than stellar like a red fall. And you'll either gain or lose points based off of that, so it's kind of a wild card. So most people here you've seen before. Most recently, Tim's joined us. Kyle the fish is back from the aquarium, currently dying of hernia.
Yeah.
Great.
I'm
So
all
we
right.
randomize draft order. Do a quick introduction of who you are when we start. When we get around to you, it is snake draft, so I think I'm at the end. We'll start round two, go back and forth like that. So we will start off with Morgan with the best name of the year, Lord of the Rings: Return of the Kingdom Hearts, with the first draft pick for 2024.
Okay. Uh,
I do have a sort of list made up already for everyone that we've kind of been looking through for picks of stuff releasing.
okay, I'm good. I don't know if I have to say I'm done or not.
Yeah, good. Just what did you pick? Let us know what you picked, my friend.
Tekken 8, I think.
Good pick.
That was my last year with my fighting game trifecta that bit me in the ass. I had the Street Fighter, I had the Mortal Kombat, I picked up Tekken, and they delayed that shit.
Tekken was on my list, so I'm kind of bummed out.
Hee
Mr. Kyle the Fish, you should have your option at the top of yours now.
Yeah, all right, here we go. So I'm going with a game I am so hyped for, so excited, and that's Hellblade 2. I think this game is going to be so good.
I'm really excited. I haven't played the first one yet, but it's definitely on my backlog of games I'm going to get to. But I kind of wanted to wait until the second one came out or close to, so I could play the first one to get hyped for the second one.
Definitely, and play it with headphones. Get some headphones on and just enjoy it.
I've told
It's a
her
great
this
game.
so many times, but she refuses to play games with audio, so it's going to be a
just
fight.
try it at least.
You need to for the experience.
I just like it's like there's gameplay elements, right? There's like design parts into that aspect into the audio, so I think it's worth trying it out, but I get if that's not your way of playing.
I will definitely try just for
Yes.
Yeah, it's definitely. I know we're at differing points for it, but one of the ones that could be a Game of the Year contender this year, honestly.
Yeah, I think so. I really do. I think it's secretly just because of what Xbox has done, obviously, and then with the first one kind of being not a huge hit. Yeah, it's a sneaky one for Game of the Year.
Moving on, Mr. Tim from It Gets Worse, we had on recently last episode to end 23.
Yeah, so this one should not come as a surprise to anybody who listened to that episode that I was on. I'm choosing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I have been doing my Final Fantasy VII playthrough of the most recent revamp, and I am so excited to play the game that made nerds cry all over again.
God damn it, Tim.
Look, it was never going to make it past me. I think that there are strong contenders for Game of the Year always, but like this is the one that everybody's looking at thinking this will probably take it. The storyline is just too good.
Well, the first one got it the year it came out, didn't it? Like majorly where it was at.
I I actually think it got beat out. I think that there was something that took it out at the knees. Hold on.
Trying to think. Well, that was 2020.
2019. No, 2020. Yeah.
Didn't Hades win Game of the Year in 2020?
Oh no, that was Last of Us Part 2 year. You were done.
Well, it's my turn. Getting game also that I think is probably Game of the Year contender with Persona 3 Loaded.
I'm gonna say no, just because that's a remake, my guy.
Resident Evil 4 was in the running for Game of the Year this year, and you know how big of freaks people are for the
Shouldn't have been.
the people like what they like. Internet has spoken. Persona is in right now.
Hands against Baldur's
It's like, let's make no jokes here. Baldur's Gate 3 came in with a flippin' share this year.
See, that was my surprise MVP hit. Last Fantasy Critic was
That's the only
Baldur's
reason you
Gate
beat
3.
me.
No, it's not the only reason, but that definitely came in MVP for me.
Did that one actually cap out at 100 points at the end of it? Because I'm pretty sure people would have
I think
given it
it's like a
105.
96, 97, yeah.
96.
Jeez.
Somehow. Avery, it is you.
Oh, okay. All right, let's see here. Well, I actually know what my first pick be. Actually, one that I chose last year.
Or the
Is it
No,
Vampire the
no,
Masquerade?
I gave up on that one a while ago. No, I went ahead. What? Okay, Jocko.
what? What do you need to override already?
Okay, so apparently I can't choose it.
What do you
Anyway,
want me to override?
Sons of the Forest.
No!
So like it came out, but I got 0 points for it. But now because it was in early access, and now that they have a release date set, I can't choose it because it says, "Oh, it's in early access." There's already reviews out for it. But I didn't get my review. But I didn't get the scores from it last review because it was an early access game. So what is this? Oh
Jocko
my
said
god!
you fixed
Try
it
again.
over it.
Oh, all right. Hold on. Well, with my next choice then.
You're not even gonna pick it now?
No, I can't.
You can't know.
Oh, I
I just
can
fixed
now.
He just paid
Okay.
over it.
We're letting things slide. We got a lot of people. Not as much stuff this year has a definitive release date.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you. Jacob's.
I will also mention while he's finding his pick. This
Alright.
year we did
I
add.
got it. Sons of the Forest.
We did add. So that's that's not announced, I guess. One of the picks this year that everyone has to do is an unannounced game. I don't believe it has to be during this initial draft. Just during the year.
I'm gonna go back.
No, it's fine. Add a little spice to it. So with me, as I said, being at the end, I'll get 2 picks in a row to end round 1 and then start round 2 and work our way back up. Which with mine, as Caitlin has said, and I'm following Kyle's path of games we're excited for, with Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, which was my game of the year when the first one came out. I absolutely adore that game, and it's out in I think like 2 weeks already. And I am beyond ready to spend
Yeah, the 26th.
200 hours in that game with just absolutely batshit bonkers Animal Crossing building and naked men in diapers fighting me in the streets. If that sounds appealing, Like a Dragon is for you. Second pick for me, I'm gonna pick something that I've never was hyped for to begin with. Something the first game passed me by. I remember playing it, but now the second one's coming out years later, and everyone's hyping the shit out of it. With Dragon's Dogma 2 from Capcom, I believe, correct? Good. First one was sort of a sleeper on 360, and they're randomly bringing it back, and people are hyping it to unbelievable levels this year. And I believe it's also pretty early in like April or something that releases. So working back up, Avery, since you got your unannounced done already.
All right, so my next choice is going with a very safe pick that I think will make quite a few points, but it's nothing too exciting. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024.
You laughed.
What a pick.
That was on my list, though. The last one, I think, got like 92, 93. Like,
was-
Flight Sim is a sleeper.
My turn?
Yeah, back to you, yes.
So my next game is technically unavailable, but from what I understand, from doing my own little internet research at work today when I should have been working, I was scrolling through PlayStation websites and trailers, but I am going it'll oh, here we go. Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. My draft choice. From what I understand, yes, it is technically no release date, but I guess there was leaked information at a PlayStation something or another yesterday that it is almost definitively coming out Q4 this year.
Yeah, they released sort of hype trailer for 2024 releases that was featured on, so...
So is that going to take up our unannounced spot too?
No, because it's been announced. It was in the 2024 trailer, so technically it's set for this year, just not specific.
Y'all know everybody loves Metal Gear, so I...
Any more people love Kojima instead of Metal Gear Solid,
I
but
actually don't think I played any.
moving back up, Mr. Tim.
Look, let me take you back to the
Look.
days of GameCube, and you're sitting there,
Fuck.
and you pick up this random game at Christmas, and all of a sudden, the sands of time are all you care about. We are picking up Prince of Persia on the second round. I think that this game is going to bring some hardcore nostalgia, a platformer, and some just good old-fashioned brawl.
That is not where I thought you were going when you said GameCube at all.
Right? But no, I'm excited to see if they can bring this franchise back a little bit. It definitely had some stinkers in there, but we'll see what it does.
No, I'm happy. It's Ubisoft steering away from their usual copy-paste stuff. Going back to when they released stuff like Child of Light on Xbox One. Good.
Anymore.
No, it's
Oh,
Kyle.
Kyle, sorry.
Okay. All right, for my second pick.
I feel like we
Going
should
with
have the
Pete.
NFL quiz every time we say, and the pick is in.
We're gonna get copyright.
Doom, doo, doo, doom, doo. I'm going with Hades 2.
Damn.
Game
Oh,
I
damn.
loved
That
Hades,
was on my list too.
and I just I think this one came as a surprise too. I didn't expect a second one, so I'm so excited for what they got cooking in there.
The first
I
one
do
is
worry
short.
about it slipping out of 2024, but yeah, I'm almost confident it's coming out at least this year.
I think that's the first, like, quote-unquote direct sequel that studio's done, hasn't it? Isn't it? Because they did, like,
I
Braid
believe-
before, Transistor. This is the first, like, direct follow-up they've done.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds. Yes,
Yes.
yes, I see it. So yeah,
You worry
I'm
about
excited.
critics getting like burnt out on roguelites though? Like,
Not for Hades, I don't think. People hold that as, like, a pedestal all its own. Like, that
That's
was a game
I
changer.
feel. Yeah, if they don't do something different though, I could see it dropping in like the critic score, for it being a little samey. But I don't know. I'm excited for it still.
Still, though, it's dropping down to, like, 80s. Still
Yeah, I
solid.
still think it's like a high score. So
Back at the top, Morgan with 2 in a row for ending round 2 into round 3.
Starting.
Okie dokie. I'm going with Rise of Ronin, just because it sounded cool. I know absolutely nothing about this one.
The trailer looks really fun for it. That was at the Game Awards. They showed.
Yeah, the new one. Oh, that's solid. Team Ninja, PlayStation 5 exclusive. People listening, Ninja Gaiden, Neo, most recently, the team's done.
That's a pretty easy 80 points.
Bomb. Love it. And then I'm gonna go with Little Nightmares 3, just because I love the first two games so much.
Those games are. I never finished them, but I've played them.
No, that's
I
solid.
love
Only thing with that, I would worry, the original team's out,
Yeah.
and they got, the name escapes me, but the people from The Quarry and
Oh yeah.
your spooky people working on it.
And from a
Yeah.
I
can see
love.
that.
Okay, so I love that.
It's actually one of the few games I got.
I love those games. All of those games are amazing. Until Dawn is one of my favorite games of all time.
Well, there you go. Little Nightmares 3 lines up.
Hey yo.
All right, back to Kyle.
I
I'm gonna intro myself.
fucking love you.
It's gonna be Bulletstorm VR.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. I don't even know if I'm gonna end up picking a VR game. I don't know any. Anyway, I am gonna go with a space game a long time ago. That was really bad. I'm doing Star Wars, but I never got there. Star Wars Outlaws. I'm gonna pick that. I don't love Ubisoft games, but there's something about this one, like the IP, gets me excited. So I'm excited for this.
Yeah, that's my worry. So I'm just worried it's gonna be copy paste Ubisoft.
It's Assassin's Creed with a Star Wars skin over it.
But people buy
The
it.
shit out of it.
Yeah, people buy it and people like it, and I haven't played one of those games in such a long time. So
Matt,
Valhalla was the last one. So I think for me it's gonna hit, and I'm just going with the IP being well loved, and I like its original story. The cinematics looks cool. And it's gonna be interesting. I think it should be good.
to add a little more to that too, it is also not the usual Assassin's Creed teams. It is Massive, who is the Division 2, so slightly
And
different setup there.
That's like my apologies. The Division is like my guilty pleasure games. I always re-download them and go back and just go around. The ambiance is so fun in those games. But yeah, that excites me.
Mr. Tim.
So I'm going to pick up on an unannounced game here because if this one actually happens,
Oh, Tim, don't do it.
oh, it's not technically an unannounced one. Yeah, I'm picking up Hollow Knight Silk Song. I think that this game is going to absolutely kill it.
Oh, it absolutely
It's-
is if it comes out.
It's got to be close.
It
Yeah.
has to be.
It should be close, but there's that like this is one of those ones that may just not get released because it's not perfect, right? And they have such a legacy to stand up to.
Yeah.
Like,
And it was
that game
part of
is
that
long.
infamous Microsoft E3 2021 where they were like, everything's going to be out in the next 12 months. And it's
COVID.
still not here. 2022. I think it's
I don't remember.
either way.
All right. This might controversial. Again, an unreleased game, but I feel like it is for sure coming out this year officially. But I put it on my list last year. It screwed me over in the 11th hour, but I gotta go with the Lucky Squire. Girlies love their indie games.
I
I'm
love
gonna pick
indie.
that one.
Yeah, that was also my short list.
Mhm.
I'm surprised you didn't pick that up. I thought that was going to be bad that I drafted it last year.
No, I mean, I think it's going to be good, but Dragon's Dogma, it's gaining some weird traction. I don't know if that's based off of, like, the hype coming off of Monster Hunter and just, like, more faith in that team, but
Dragon's Dogma's all like
yeah, it was
the
a...
people that love it go nuts. For the first time.
Following up from Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Going with another really easy pick that's gonna garner a lot of points. That's not really too. Never mind.
Liar.
So I'm going with my next choice, which is more towards my PC origin backgrounds. That is gonna be Worlds.
Yeah, what is that?
It's a RTS game. I remember playing Homeworlds 1 and I played Homeworlds 2. And now, so I'm going to go ahead and pick that one. My old nostalgia RTS.
That's
PC
that,
roots.
what we call PC bullshit.
That is what we call PC.
I always want to remind you that Microsoft is big with the Xbox, Choco.
It's not just Xbox anymore, no.
Okay. Are the same team. Okay.
No. Little Gollum, carpal tunnel hands on your keyboard.
Sitting like a cooked shrimp in your desk chair.
For my next, I'm stealing what I thought Tim was going to pick up when he brought up GameCube stuff. I'm going to
There it
pick
is.
2 super solid picks, actually, because Nintendo never lets us
Fuck
down.
you.
Starting off with the Thousand Year Door remake, Paper Mario.
Uh-huh.
Super solid. Enough can't be said. People been wanting. We're sick of the sticker star. We're sick of the color paint ones. We don't care. We just want the old stuff back. And then following up with that, slightly more up in the air, I'm picking up Princess Peach Showtime. Woo! New IP, super fun idea behind it that I like, where it's set up as a stage play, sort of a 2D, sort of a 3D brawler at times, but puzzle game at times, but platformer at times. Just sort of a mix of everything.
Our shining star finally gets her own game. Yes.
She's had one before. She just had a button to make her cry and grow plants.
And what's wrong with that? That's all I do.
Fair enough.
I feel like Morgan, that you fall into that category too, cry and grow plants.
Grow plants. Grow. My cat kills plants. I have fake plants.
Really?
I cry and bake bread. Let's just do
Okay,
that.
that's fair.
You know, if you cry into the bread, it adds some salt to it. It makes it tastier.
That's our secret ingredient. Tears.
Tears.
What's this? Are you picking a game?
Yeah.
He's grunting. Oh, look, Dragon's Dogma 2.
Want to choose that?
God. You got a split setup stream. See the draft and trailers playing underneath.
I was gonna say this is super cool. I'm watching it on my TV.
I work hard
Oh,
on this
we're doing
stuff.
You're so fancy.
Oh, Tim's the fancy one. They got intro music.
Look, that was real easy to figure out. I can help you with it if you want.
Any day now, Avery.
I know, okay.
He's old. He's
I'm old.
studious.
I am old.
The technology's behind him.
Go with gonna go with Mario versus Donkey Kong.
The third Nintendo, and I believe the last Nintendo game for sure for this year. But there will be plenty more, especially with Switch to whatever the shit we're getting this year coming out. Don't know what it is, but we're getting it.
Alrighty.
What are you giving me?
Well, now that you people all of my I understand.
That's why at least my first few picks were gonna. I didn't actually think I was gonna have fights.
I didn't. I picked up the first year, I think, though, when the first one came out. I said it's solid 90, 92 points every time.
Alright, well, I'm gonna pick is a TV. I don't know if it's gonna come out. I really hope it's gonna come out this year. Like it's gonna be 1 billion points. We're gonna go Elden Ring. I don't
Rude.
Take critically strike.
really love their Elden Ring, not me.
I like to watch other people play Elden Ring. I would get way too frustrated actually playing it myself.
Oh yeah, I don't play hard games. I like to play. Don't make me angry.
So
I would play games like that if they had options involved.
They do. They just join your game and smack your cheeks and then leave.
Because
Well, okay.
I like going ahead and frustrating my that I'm playing.
So Elden Ring, I think, really did a good job finding that happy medium there because you can like have it only your friends can join you. I had a lot of friends enjoy Elden Ring, and I think that that's a really solid pick.
Which now that is this
However-
year too, we added DLCs and expansions are available this year, so
Daddy's good boy. I really enjoy. I hope that you can hear the things my husband say. That's why my like brain short circuits sometimes.
thanks, John. Get on Sea of
But-
Thieves, you coward.
Junko says that you should get on Sea of Thieves. We're going to be picking up a game that I'm actually counting on one game failing horribly in order to help boost this one because this is what Diablo 4 wants to be. We're picking up Path of Exile 2.
Oh, I think that's a solid pick.
I think so.
That if I had remembered about that one, I actually would have added that on my.
Yeah, so like this game's pretty hyped up in that community right now, and if they can execute it, I think people are gonna nom that like crazy.
I think
Just
Path of
because
Exile is
Diablo
amazing.
4 looked so poorly.
I played that one a lot when
They have a window for it to be good because Diablo 4 is pretty much on seasonal life support till the first big expansion at the end of the year. So if they can get that out early enough before that, it's got a solid chance.
For sure. I was super hyped for it. Like you guys know. I was so hyped for it. And I just kind of fell off. And I restarted playing 3. And I
Yep.
finished replaying 3. So
Well, that's like I was hyped for 4 as well. I'm hyped for Path of Exile 2. I think it's going to be another filler. I think that 4 just didn't quite have enough content to keep me interested, but Path of Exile is like here's your weird Diablo builds and now you get even more customization. And that's what I enjoyed about Diablo 4, so I really look forward to seeing what that studio can do with it.
for me, if it's Path of Exile 1 with a little bit more to it, then it's already a win in my book. I love Path of Exile 1.
Right? Well, and like PoE is still a heavily played and beloved game. Like I would pick PoE if they were releasing that this year.
VR Aquarium.
Going with another Crab's Treasure.
Is that the Crab Souls like?
Yep, Crab's
Perfect.
Little Souls like. I think it's a good enough Souls like where I think it's going to get that audience and good enough.
Caitlin's
Critical
shaking her
praise.
head at me, but you've seen this where
No,
he's like
that's the guy.
popping in cans
Yeah.
and yeah.
That game looks actually seriously fun. We watched this guy on YouTube that's his whole channel is he just rolls Steam to find Souls-like games and then reviews them, whatever, and he played it when it was still on Kickstarter and it looks so freaking cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's on my radar. It looks awesome. we'll see how much I actually play.
Gotta pump those numbers up, my guy. You win the baby.
Ugh, I know.
Also, I'm just throwing this out here. When we get the new season, Halo Infinite season, you and me, we're jumping into ranked and we're climbing that ladder for all the rewards.
Oh, down.
Okay. My turn?
Yes, ma'am. 2 in a row again, starting or ending round 4, going into round 5.
I picked whatever the hell that unicorn game is because it was on the list and I was like, that sounds fun.
I'll tell you, it's
And
not what you think it is.
It had kind of a high hype like percentage. I know that doesn't really mean anything, but
Yeah, it's not what you think it is. I'm actually excited for this. It's a tactical RPG that's like high medieval fantasy, um, sort of Advanced Warsy, I believe. And the studio's also had really good success recently with 13 Sentinels, I believe, came out this year or the year before.
cool. And then I picked the Warhammer game.
Yeah, that girl, Morgan.
Space Marine
Warhammer.
2 slaps.
That's what I'm saying.
Space Marine 1 was killer on 360. I played the shit out of that.
Just said it's a good pick. She's gonna get an easy. Gonna be an easy 70 Metacritic score.
Give me
Maybe I'll
the...
do better than last year, guys.
What's that?
Maybe I'll do better than last year.
Yeah, your list last year is kind of whack.
Kingdom Hearts unannounced Bioshock game. Girl, what the fuck?
If you want to pick up that Kingdom Hearts again, though, I would love that. I would kill for that to be this year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pick up my unannounced game, and I'm gonna shoot for the moon on this. I'm gonna pick up a 3D Mario.
Ooh, I would love for that.
I would too. It'd be so cool.
I just doing Wonder this year, followed by a 3D one next year, though. Oof.
Yeah, isn't that awesome?
It would be
They're just
great
going
for a
with that.
Switch too, though. I'd love
It
that.
would be.
And it's scary enough that I don't want to counterpick it, because if it does come out, I'm boned.
Literally.
Yeah,
It
it's a
doesn't.
really like big risk, big reward.
All right. No,
Why
it's
you
my
ask?
turn. So all these like super hype games, I think that people may need to chill out, especially if they're playing some high octane stuff. And I think that this game looks like the perfect game to just vibe with. So I'm picking up Snufkin Melody of Moomin Valley.
What
We
in
love
the
the
shit?
I
You just made this
think
up.
this one.
I'm a big movement supporter, honestly.
Like, legitimately?
Like, legitimately, yeah.
What is this?
I was just gonna ask the same thing. What is this?
This is the next generation of people playing with their villagers and just relaxing with a video game that has very low stakes.
If
You
I'm not
run
mistaken,
around.
If I'm not mistaken, Snufkin or the Moomins, Morgan, are the same people that made Over the Garden Wall, but like in the late 80s, early 90s. It's like the same art design.
This?
Yeah.
Oh, what?
It was like a TV show or movie in the... You would know it if you saw it. Morgan, I feel like this is right up your alley. You know what I'm talking about.
This is for everybody who likes Animal Crossing. This is for the people who just want a game that is like internet chory in some ways, but it's relaxing. There's great music. So unfortunately, Caitlin, you'll hate it because you don't listen to video games.
No, but I'll love
But-
it because I love menial fetch quests, so I'm all about that.
There we go. We got that one.
I'm currently playing... What is the one that I'm playing right now? Something Coral Island. Oh my god, Coral Island on Game Pass. You gotta get it. It's so good. It's like Animal Crossing, but with mermaids.
Oh,
Yes, I saw somebody
can't.
playing it on Twitch the other day. It
It's
looks
become
so
my whole
cute.
life, honestly. Okay, this is another game. I don't know if it's um going to count as a coming out game or unannounced. Or, well, I guess it's technically unannounced has been. Silent Hill 2 remake. One that I'm pretty sure I have full faith that this.
Damn you, woman!
That's the other one that was in the PlayStation thing this
Yep.
week. That with Metal Gear Solid as a 2024 release. So solid. I just worry about the team because God, they're so iffy.
Yes, I said it's either going to give me 100 points or no.
It's not giving you 100 points. You're getting 80 or 70.
Okay, so going a little, I don't know.
Spicy?
No, not spicy. It's definitely not spicy at all. But I'm gonna go with next Call of Duty game. No, just hear me out for a second. Okay, hear me out for a second with this one. Okay, so it's there might be a chance it might not come out because since the merger has happened or anything, Microsoft might actually decide to delay it by a year. But at the same time, if all the reporting is correct, this is a Treyarch Call of Duty game that's actually had at least 3 years of development time.
Extra year, isn't it? I believe they have extra because
really?
It got pushed back from this year.
So it's not a Treyarch game where they've had to come in to save another studio's butt, or that they've had so little time to develop. And it's also it's from if the rumors are true, that's going to be a Gulf War game. I think that plays into Treyarch's doing weird, unique stuff. So I think this has the potential of being a good Black Ops 2 Treyarch Call of Duty game. So I have faith that this one might do well. My worry, though, about it is not necessarily the game itself, because I have faith that if Treyarch actually did get the time to work on it, that it will be good. My worry is that Microsoft might actually delay it till next year in order to try to finally give Call of Duty a break. Which is okay with me in my book. At the same time, if it comes out this year, I'd be okay with them delaying no Call of Duty game for 2025. But that's my thing. I have faith in Treyarch, so that's what I'm going to go ahead and do and see how that plays out.
Yeah, that's the weird thing where it's still behind whatever documents and legal stuff they had to sign of when they're supposed, if they're actually like legally obligated to release one this year, what's happening with it. So there's a whole lot behind that. My next, kind of a toss in the dark, but something I've been excited-ish about since it was announced. Going with, if I can find it, can't. I haven't banished because I'm picking up Banisher's Ghost of New Eden.
Oh, for funny. That game does look really cool, though.
Yeah, it looks good. From Don't Nod, which is weird because primarily doing Life is Strange and more story-based stuff like that. This is, if you've seen the Game Awards stuff recently, a third-person role-playing game where you are, I think, jumping back and forth between a husband who's in like a living world and his wife who's passed.
He's like stuck in limbo.
Yeah, stuck in limbo, either like helping ghosts pass or hunting ghosts like Ghostbusters. I don't know. It looks fun. And I'm excited to see something new from that team outside of their norm that they kind of stick with. And for following that, something so incredibly easy, I'm surprised it hasn't been picked up yet. Going Metaphor ReFantazio. It's the new IP from the Persona 5 team.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
High fantasy setting. It's got a mixture of the typical Persona turn-based combat, but also like Dynasty Warriors open world brawling that transitions in between. And it's been forever since Persona 5, so getting something new from them. Points.
If it comes out.
It will. Don't poop on my parade. It'll actually end my 6 for the draft, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes. So this will be our last round already. kind of sped through. As I said, we're doing 6 now, and throughout the
Do we
year.
have to draft an unavailable?
Apparently not, because I didn't do mine. So just throughout the year, you have to.
Okay.
So the other 6 will be throughout the year. We do periodic check-ins and stuff on the podcast, see where everyone's at. We do have everyone's got a $100 cash limit for the year. I do currently have it set where when you bid on a game throughout the year, you do need at least a $5 or a $5 bid.
You get your dollars back if you don't get the
so
pick
use
this year.
I don't think you can change that. So don't waste all your money like someone did last year and was just throwing shit at the wall and then couldn't make her last pick or two because she was out of money.
I mean, to be honest, I don't think we're actually paying attention. Get in there with very easy bids.
Oh, not anymore. If I get this set up, it'll be on the Discord now. When if everyone makes bids, it alerts the thing and everyone else. So I'm not gonna do the work this year. But Discord bots. There goes your. What is?
Avery and I are like every couple of days, like refreshing and trolling the pages.
Wait. Should we be doing? Are we gonna do counter picks live today, or is that
Our pick will be a part of this. Yes.
Okay, sweet. So I got some trash to talk.
Go. We love that.
So, going with another kind of more. I like the first game of this one. Go with Frostpunk.
I thought about that.
I like the first Frostpunk. Take a chance at it.
Sort of extreme city builder. After City Skylines 2 kind of bombed last year,
Yeah.
people may be looking for the next thing. Caitlin, last pick.
Last pick.
Draft.
This, I'm surprised that this up because this like Souls like game. So I with my last pick, Black Myth.
No, that's not. I think that game's gonna bomb,
You
personally.
really do?
I do.
I don't. I think it's gonna hit.
It's
really.
been promoted super well and given media attention because it looks really pretty.
Yeah.
But people with Soulsborne stuff, unless you
Here's the
actually
deal,
like,
you said the same thing about Lies the Peak, and look how well that did. So I
Pretty
didn't
mid.
want to hear it.
timid.
I got points for it, did I
got-
not?
I can pick up Justice League and get points for it.
I don't think so. I really that is incorrect. Morgan, pick up Kill the Justice League just for the memes.
Please don't do that.
So my next pick,
turns out to be amazing.
just before when I sit here and I talk about how I'm going to talk some mad shit when we do our counter picks. This game's getting counterpicked by somebody here because it may not release, but if it does, it will print points. I'm picking up Dragon Age Red Wolf
See,
here.
I actually counterpicked that one last year because I had no faith it was going to come out last year. I'm half tempted to this year, but I'm also half thinking to myself, what if it does come out though?
If it does not,
I'm screwed.
Let me just paint a picture for you. Like right now, they're saying to be announced in summer of 2024. And what do we have in Christmas of 2024 this year? I think that this is going to be the Christmas blockbuster. I
It
think
could be.
in
It could
December,
It really could
this
be.
is
It
gonna
could be, but at the
drop.
same time, so much of the senior experience Bioware staff is now all gone from that studio. So I do have a little bit of worries about it too. I'm not worries to where I'd want to counter pick it because I think the game's going to bomb. I'd counter pick because I would think that it's not going to come out this year. But I do still have a little bit of worries just because so much of that senior leadership and experienced staff from Bioware are gone.
That senior leadership also made Mass Effect 1 which trash.
No, Mass One is awesome. I don't want to hear it, Jocko. Mass
Trash.
One is awesome.
Kyle, last pick for you, my friend.
I'm going with Towerborn.
Ooh,
That pick.
I'm
a
excited.
game that, yeah, it looks really Castle Crasheries, and I just haven't played a game like that in such a long time. I don't recall there being one similar in that vein for a while. I might be wrong about that, but this might hit in a big way.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. I think you and me talk about actually how it's the Castle Crashers, but also kind of mixed with like a live service thing they're doing to build sort of a legacy world around it throughout the years.
Mm-hmm.
See if that actually hits or not. But
yeah, well, with the Game Pass, I mean, you have an audience at least. You just got to get them with gameplay then.
Morgan, for your final pick, and then I believe it'll start with you for counter picks as well. Keeps the same
Oh,
draft.
goodness. Okay.
Boy. Did you die?
Okay, I picked Visions of Mana.
Oh.
Is what I picked. Don't make that noise.
No, I think that this is a game I recognize just by the name, which means there's some hype on this one.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought when I
Same.
read it. I was like, I feel like I've heard people like playing like early access, not early access, but something like that on Twitch.
So, yeah,
they
it
know
was
much.
originally Secret of Mana back on like the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
And then they released like a remastered collection of the first. Is there two, or may have just been the one? But it's sort of a weird mix of like role-playing turn-based stuff, but you also have like a live combat bar that builds up that lets you do abilities and stuff in between actual turns. And it was like a 3-player Super Nintendo, which was wild.
Yep.
And I lied. It actually starts at the bottom for counter picks, so I will be doing my counter pick first. I'm disappointed because I was hoping we were going to grab Kingdom Hearts for me. Counter pick.
I'll grab it later.
I mean, that later doesn't help me now. Look
Fair.
through. I want that mainline Mario game, but that's going to be a kick in the balls. If it happens. Mario, me, Hollow Knight.
Final Fantasy.
I'm not grabbing the Final Fantasy. That's terrible.
It's like, you will die.
It
That
sucks
was-
because like all these except for like 2 are like super solid no matter what. I'm debating between 2. One that if it comes out maybe screwed. The other one is for sure coming out for a couple points. Oh. I'm grabbing
Damn it.
I'm
That was
grabbing
gonna be my counter pick.
I'm grabbing Dreadwolf.
Man.
Just
I
'cause-
finally convinced myself in my head to counter pick it.
Yeah, I'm grabbing
Ah.
Dreadwolf. The fact that they're not
See-
releasing any more information till summer, I don't see them being a studio that's going to do that short of
Yeah.
a turnaround
So,
time.
so yeah, I was thinking in my head, I was like, okay, Firewars history. What have they been doing? Okay, they announce things, delay, and then even when they start showing things and start showing gameplay demo, even when they have a for sure release date, what have they been doing recently? Delaying. So yeah, I had convinced myself that that would be a good counter pick, and no, thanks, Joe. Not gonna. I'll pick one of my own.
There's quite a bit while he's looking through the list that I'm surprised wasn't picked, which I think Kyle will be the one to speak on most of this because he's sort of in my like group of people online in the know. But stuff like Avowed,
That game's not coming out. That game's not coming out, period.
no, it is.
It's coming out, but I would have picked that one because I am an Obsidian fanboy.
Yeah.
But I am very hesitant that it's gonna come out this year.
Yeah, there's been a big push, like just in the past couple weeks, of it being a 2024 game out of nowhere. Most recently rumored is Double Fine's next game, Kiln, which people are saying is going to be out in 2 weeks as this year's sort of shadow drop at the developer direct.
And if it does, I'll shit my pants. Literally.
South of Midnight is the other Xbox One.
I'm picking. I don't care if I put 100 fucking points on that game. I'm picking up that game.
It's stupid.
Okay, so I think I got my counter pick. I'm gonna go. It might screw me. It might screw me, but at the same time, when I first did these, the first couple of years when I first did these type of counter picks, where I went with like a gut feeling, they served well, and then whenever I decided not to do that anymore, and like Redfall, for instance, when I wanted to counter pick that one so bad, but I didn't, had a gut feeling about it, and then it turned out to be it would have been a good counter pick. So I'm gonna do Star Wars Outlaws. I know everyone is super excited. Everyone I talk to is super excited about it, but I just have a gut feeling that it's just not going to be as great as everyone thinks it's going to be, and I'm going to go with it. I had these gut feelings before; they worked out. It might screw me this time, but I'm going to go ahead and go for it.
Sons of the Forest. Straight butt cheeks. It's not a good game.
Sons of the Forest is a good game.
It's not a good game.
Playing it. I like playing it. It's a good game.
Well, you and the 5 Twitch streamers that play it, you guys have fun.
Tim, talk that shit. Give it to me.
So can I just click it in the like list of games here?
Yeah, it'll be a
Or
drop
do
down
I
that shows
okay.
everything we've picked.
Okay, sweet. So let me tell you a story about a very large company that made a shit ton of money and whose intellectual property I thoroughly engage with all the time, that then laid off all their staff after a record year. Look, if karma's a real thing, fuck Wizards of the Coast decisions.
Oof.
Warhammer. Yeah, they do. It's a Wizards product. Sorry, my husband was like, "That's not a Wizards of the Coast." Yeah, it is. This game will crash and burn. After the success that they saw with Baldur's Gate 3, every single liaison within Wizards of the Coast got laid off.
Every Galarian's team too.
Yeah, like it was absolutely bonkers the decisions that Hasbro is making. This game is not going to have the legs because they just don't have the connection to the IP anymore.
Well, people might just spite the game just to spite the game because of that.
I mean,
that's the other half of it.
I mean, this is coming from more of the card community and everything, but every time that Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro makes crappy decision, it doesn't ever seem to affect them when it comes to the card. Like, they still make buttloads of money off of Magic and whatnot. No one seems to ever go ahead and care. Like, even after the stupid decisions, even after they go ahead and screw over their customer base over and over again by making them pay more money, they still get away with it. So,
yeah, no, that's like, I do. Look, it's a entertainment industry, capitalism, all that stuff. But I think that because they released the people who were a part of creating Baldur's Gate 3, I worry that they got rid of the support structure that is necessary for Warhammer 40 to make its way through unscathed and actually to hit all the marks that people who play Warhammer 40k are going to be looking in this game. Like the telltale signs of like, hey, you really worked with this IP, you worked with the development teams to retain that feel. Because when you do these kinds of crossovers, they're looking for that. They're looking to feel like they're engaging with this game that they love. And especially critics are going to be hypercritical if it misses that mark. So I'm counterpicking Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. I don't think it's going to receive high marks, and I think that a lot of it's going to be attached to that lack of nostalgia.
You say it like that, and I want to counterpick Warhammer Space Marine 2.
Also, I just don't think it looks like a fun game. I feel like that is just like not the game that people are interested in.
Didn't you were giving Morgan high fives for picking that?
I mean, I didn't say it was
You're sus.
No, she's gonna get a solid. As long as the game functions and it's not broken, it's gonna score in the 70s, low 80s, because that's just how it is. Do I think it's revolutionizing anything in video games? No, it's just a gunner. Like, that's all it is. I don't know.
It's a Gears of War clone.
Yeah, like, And are people really interested in that right now? People seem to be more into the story games and the more roguelikes and the more RPG titles, not just big gun kill monster alien. I mean, there's also a market for that too.
I like big gun kill monster alien.
Well, then Warhammer's the game for you.
Mr. Fish.
I was between two, but I'm gonna go with my gut more on this one. I'm gonna go with Black Myth Wukong
Yeah.
as my counter pick.
And when that gets me 90 Critic Metacritic score, I'm gonna get you a screenshot of it, and I'm gonna send like 8 tweets in a row of it, progressively
Definitely
zooming in
not
farther and farther.
It's definitely not getting 90.
I think it's gonna end up like Lords of the Fallen, a little worse. Kind of just.
Shout out to Lords of the Fallen being the one game I never thought would get a sequel. Like, I remember the first one came out on Xbox One, and that shit bombed. And then just, hey, here's a second one.
Let's try it.
Look, when you spend that much money on IP, you feel the need to try to spend no more money.
Gotta do something with it.
Damn, that's a lot of money to throw out the tube.
Sit there and poke it with a stick, do something.
Swear this horse will move. Hit it harder.
Here it is right now. Look at the stream. Black Myth Wukong. It looks beautiful.
It's beautiful. Is it fun?
People said that Anthem and Watchdog Legions look good too. Look what happened in those ones.
Quick shout out to Cyberpunk.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, even though that game, they actually put some effort into it now, so.
Yeah, now it's much better. It just took it like 50 different patches.
All right, Morgan, bring us home.
Nope.
It's over now.
I thought Morgan still had
She did.
characters.
Oh, she must
She
have.
did.
did.
She went with it.
Picked the unannounced Mario platformer.
She didn't even say anything.
She was looking.
She was heartbroken after your comments about Warhammer, and then was like, Warhammer.
That's it for the draft. I would like to go through fast, if you guys don't mind, or if you want, chime in, continuing some of the stuff that wasn't picked up this year. If you have any comments, thoughts, concerns, please chime in. Push me out of the way. We joked about it, but Kingdom Hearts 4, I legitimately think could be a 2024 game. It's been 4 or 5 years since 3, and now that they're on the new engine and have everything good to go, like, I don't think that game's going to require as long of a time in between. Stuff I also had listed for us. Motive's Iron Man game. Probably too early. Indiana Jones. I could see a reveal this year from Bethesda.
I don't think it'll be.
But we'll get the reveal, I think, but not a release.
Yeah, too early for window. Death Stranding 2 was another one. Kind of up in the air, especially with how many projects Kojima has going on now, where those are all sort of falling into place.
That could be a fall release.
Yeah.
Do you think it's before Overdose or Open Door or whatever we're
Yeah.
calling it now?
OD is like in development. That was an announcement, I think, adding Jordan Peele. It wasn't like we've been doing this for a while. I think it's like a newer partnership.
Yeah, because I think that was also everything's coming out in a year E3 where they announced they were like signed a contract with him to do the game.
Yeah.
So
That
2
was the
years about.
Yeah, and then that was same with Death Stranding 2. That was 2 years ago. So this would be a third year, which would be kind of short, but if he was already working on it, this fall would make sense. He didn't really talk about it this Game Awards.
Yeah, and assuming those are on same engines, say how much they actually have to build from ground up for it.
Yeah, and they're saving it for PlayStation's big thing for whenever they tell us what they're going to do this year, if they're doing
If they do
much.
anything.
Yeah, but you have to imagine Death Stranding 2 is their big next tentpole blockbuster title coming out.
Following after that, Contraband. I think that was 2020 E3 from the Just Cause team partnership with Microsoft for Xbox. I think all we have from it so far is it's a multiplayer sort of heist island extraction game. Maybe follow Just Cause formula.
Payday, but you're on an island.
Really don't know anything, and it's been 3-4 years at this point.
They've only shown the one singular same trailer over and over and over again with no updates or anything. Thinking that game's probably a bust.
We mentioned it earlier, South of Midnight from Compulsion, We Happy Few, and Contrast. I think that could hit this year. There's been rumors online and talks that they're already like planning DLC path for it, which if they're at that point, that's got to be close to releasing. I feel that that could be at the rumored Xbox showcase here in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I feel like we're gonna find out quickly Xbox's release cycle coming up because they had we're gonna release it in a year, and then it didn't happen, and then they started announcing stuff again, and now we're gonna know how soon that window is from announcement to release. I mean, this is the year we find it out. I would love if South of Midnight or some of those games that just got announced were coming out this year. That'd be crazy, but it'd be cool.
Yeah, we're beyond the path of Phil's initial one game a quarter thing. Like, that's far and away, we're past that of how much they have in the pipeline. And even stuff that they haven't announced yet. There's still the rumored stuff from the Bethesda leak last year of them working on a Fallout 3 remaster and Oblivion remaster. So there's still plenty of things that they could fill out later years with if that stuff did come out earlier than expected. The 2 Assassin's Creed games, codenamed Red and Hex, the Japan one and the Salem witch themed one they announced.
That one's gonna. I'm so Valhalla level hours into that game. Don't shake your head at me.
It's like Ubisoft in general, and just their formula, especially their Assassin's Creed formula, is just so stale, so old, and they don't even seem to really do well with stories anymore.
But this is going to be winning focused, and it's going to be.
I don't have a lot of faith. I just really don't have a lot of faith in them.
Ubisoft's one where you don't need faith; it just sells either way. Like, it doesn't matter. We can sit here and
it doesn't matter. The thing is that it could sell. I'm not talking about the selling. Bad reviewed games can still sell. So I just don't have a whole lot of faith. Like the last Assassin's Creed that just came out, not like sold well, but not very many people were talking about it. Not very many people enjoyed it.
Well, that's like the Assassin's Creed. Just it tickles an itch for people who want to fancy themselves as like sneaky assassin, and that's their entire shtick. Even when you're running around as a Viking, they're still like, "Hey, can you sneak around as a raiding Viking right now?"
It's me. That's my entire.
It's a weird vibe.
Do we know if Hexy is the same scope, like open world, as like the other ones?
I believe, yeah, they just did the initial 2 reveal trailers at that event they had last year, and that was it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because I want to know what their scope is on it because it's interesting.
I would assume
that determines my interest level because I'm burnt out, just like our other friend was saying here. Sorry, I don't know names. But just I'm burnt out from the big open world stuff, and I haven't picked up Mirage yet, but I want to. But again, Ubisoft stories have been lacking. I agree with that.
I really loved Odyssey. That was my but I liked it that it was a big map, a lot of but it wasn't. Valhalla was big. There was way too.
See, I didn't mind Odyssey too much. I was like, oh, this. When I picked up Valhalla, and it just like the same thing with more stuff. I was very.
I played like 20 hours of Valhalla, stopped for like a year, went back, and then I automatically loaded into a cutscene in Asgard, and I was like, "What the hell?" It was it's so weird, but hey, good for them.
You got hit with the Ubisoft Pocket Sand on that one.
I was like, "Whoa, this game opens up."
Continuing down the list, we do have, I believe it was announced this year, early last year now, the untitled Captain America Black Panther game from Amy Hennig's new studio, Skydance Media. previously Jack and Dexter Uncharted series. I think we just got the reveal trailer for that, nothing more.
I like a lot of the people behind it. I like and I have some in them, but
Project 007 from IO, which I feel has been rumored for years at this point now. Not even officially announced. Project L, which is the League of Legends fighting game, which I feel like I've been hearing about this for 4 or 5 years at this point now, but last year, really, they doubled down. They were at EVO, had a presence, openly having playable demos, revealing characters, getting the fighting game community, like content creators in behind closed doors to start making content for it, so I feel like that game's getting closer. I'm excited that they're finally branching out and doing more stuff, whether it's contract work with other studios. They had the Song of Nunu game last year, and they had a tactical game featuring like Misfortune and the pirate characters, I think 2 years ago.
Yeah, Wrath of the Lich King dropped like 2 years ago. And there should be a Mage Slayer, I think is what it's called. It's based off of. Hi, I play a lot of League of Legends. It's based off of. Oh God, what's his name? Starts with an S. He runs around and steals people's ultimates. Silas. It's based off of Silas's storyline, and it's a roguelite that they were working on.
Also, with that, I think it was at a Nintendo showcase last year. They announced Bandle City one with all the Yordles. That's pretty much like Animal Crossing, where they're coming to your town and you're building out a town and collecting resources and stuff.
Oh my god,
I'm
that's
so
so
down.
cute.
So
The
I have to get the
Yordles
name. I
look
think it's
so
Bandle
great.
City or something.
Yep.
Skate is coming back. They announced that, I believe, 2 years ago now. Not a whole lot added on, just that they got a lot of the original team back for it. Star Wars Eclipse, David Cage game, which was announced 2 years ago. Isn't it?
It's not coming out this year. I even have worries that it's going to come out at all.
That's fine. Fuck David Cage. Man's weird.
Is he the?
Two Souls, Heavy Rain.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
I mean, I like those games. I've played them.
That.
I mean, I like those type of games, like story type based.
She just
games,
found out
but-
like part of the end story of Heavy Rain. Had an aneurysm about it.
Really?
Yeah. Your son just died. Let's just go make another kid to replace your dead son. What is that?
Save him. There's endings where he's saved. There's multiple endings. You just fail.
Spoilers for Heavy Rain, which is like a 10-year-old game at this point. Sorry.
It came up on a TikTok and I was like, what?
I mean, I had a bad ending for the police guy because he was still like addicted to his drugs, but
Here, I get them a joke.
I got the kid who survived though.
State of Decay 3 is the next one. I believe that's also been 3-4 years announced now, which is so up in the air because they're still actively releasing expansions for State of Decay 2.
State? I don't know. Like, how are the expansions? Like, I love State of Decay 1, but then when I tried playing State of Decay 2, I really didn't get into it like State of Decay 1 did. Like, the expansions like changed a whole lot.
Honestly, I played Decay 2 for, I think, like the first week when it came out. Same thing didn't really hit me. I just constantly keep seeing the trailers coming out and all the new stuff they're adding, and apparently if they're still keeping it alive, it's got a community around it. It's got a lifeline somewhere.
I mean, I love State. I just never got into it. I'll probably give it a try. It hits me like State of Decay 1 did.
Next will be the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin, which was announced this year.
I forgot about that.
Super hype. I don't think that game's going to be anything really to talk about. I feel it's going to be similar to like the 360 old Transformers games that people kind of liked, but we will see.
Did you mention Still Wakes the yet?
No.
I want.
You don't even know what that game is. Every time I talk about this, you're like, I don't know what that is, and I have to explain the trailers to you. You're gonna, oh yes.
Or Spooky Oil Rig, Christmas
Yeah.
Day Explosion, 1979.
Sure.
I don't know what this is.
Tell me I don't know what this is. Windblown, which was just announced at the Game Awards. Next game from the creators of Dead Cells. Super quirky Saturday morning cartoon anthropomorphic animals being absolutely obliterated like Happy Tree Friends. I love it.
So fun.
Tim, if you haven't seen it, it's set up like super colorful. They're super happy to go on adventure, and then just get like
Yeah.
great.
No, I got you. I got you. All you have to say is Happy Tree Friends, and I get a stupid smile on my face because that's when I went to college, and it's good vibes all the time.
Yeah. And Dead Cells was killer. People still constantly adore that game. So next thing from that team, Little Devil Inside.
No idea.
2020, 2019, because this was like a PS5 when PS5 was announced title. Sims 5. Maybe too early. They're still doing constant updates on like development behind things. Nothing concrete. X Defiant, which is the next team-based shooter from Ubisoft, which sort of combines characters from Rainbow Six, The Division, Watch Dogs, I think, has a faction in there. Just sort of a hodgepodge of all their characters. Yeah, Helldivers 2, another one. That's one with a solid release date. Only thing with Helldivers 2 is it's so far different from the first one. I don't know if that's going to catch on. And then I threw in Sandaland, which sounds goofy, but it is a game from the creator of Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Quest. That same art style following sort of a city builder survival game in a desert. Not a whole lot. I think we just got a trailer or two so far, but just some other titles from may have a chance to release this year to keep an eye out on for drafting. We have PlayStation rumored showcase sometime this year, hopefully, so the internet calms down. Rumored Microsoft Direct in 2 weeks, and then obviously E3 time in June. Rest in peace. My sweet child. Sweet summer child E3.
No more E3.
So
Obi forgot.
one thing that suspiciously did not get on any of our radar, and it was probably a fairly safe pickup because where we're at in the cycle, I think that a new Pokemon game's due out soon.
It should be, because it's been 2 years. The only I had it on my list. The only thing that kept me away from it is I'm hoping Nintendo saw the backlash from Scarlet and Violet and are giving them more time, especially if it's releasing on a new console at the end of the year, instead of trying to rush it out again.
Well,
what?
and a lot of the backlash on Scarlet and Violet, or my understanding of it, was because they didn't take any lessons learned from Legend of Arceus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just ran terribly. Like, it's...
Yeah.
You look at that compared to Zelda last year, and you would be befuddled that that's on the same system.
I mean, see, if they have even announced that one was coming out this year, I'd be hesitant to pick it up because of Scarlet Violet.
Yeah. That's
But see, I just think the bar is so low on Pokemon game in general that you can get away with quite a bit on it, which is why it's so wild that Scarlet and Violet did so poorly.
Oh yeah, I reviewed poorly, but still broke sales records for the series. So same thing.
Right.
Is Nintendo going to look at that and be like, "Oh, take the time you need to make this actually good," or just poop another one out and make millions
they
off
have
of
to
Switch
answer to investors, not to game players, unfortunately.
Yeah. Capitalism, baby.
Vote with your wallet if you want, people. And then the other one, so I had this like mini heart attack when we got done drafting because I was like, wait, GTA 6?
No, it
Did I
comes out
miss that? No, that was
Yeah.
2025, so y'all, we did not fail.
Yeah, we talked about that when they released that trailer last year. I was like, "That's a home run first pick for
I
everyone."
know,
and then
that's what I was saying. I was like, oh, the first person who gets the pick is going to get an easy 90 plus points there. But then it was 2025, so I was like,
But
Yep.
next year it's freaking game
It's
on.
on.
For who gets to
yeah,
pick.
whoever gets the is going to be like, Jocko, keep refreshing it.
no, which
I
that's
can't wait to get first pick next year. Fuck all of you.
that was sort of the thing though. Like with the Game Awards, me and Kyle talked about it a bit. A lot of the stuff was 2025. Like, I'd say over half of the titles announced weren't given a this year title, so a lot of the stuff's getting pushed further out now that we're sort of that past that
Well,
post-COVID
it's
delay
also just
schedule.
because games in general are just
But I don't know. Like I said, I just miss the really old days of whenever they'll be like, "Oh, here's this new game and it's coming out in 3 months," and it's like, I wish we had those.
I think Fallout 4 was the last one that did that for me. They announced it at the A3 and it was out like that fall.
That fall.
I just miss that. I hate how these games announce years back the old. But I'm a crippling old man who's always nostalgic for the old video game days. So
Yelling at the kids on his lawn.
He's yelling at his kid on his lawn.
Can we just talk about if they actually pull that off with Dragon Age Dreadwolf? Because that would be the game to do it, right? Because it has that older gamer following that's going to have that nostalgia associated with like a holiday. So they like give a little teaser or give a little bit more info, and then they just announce in September, hey, by the way, this is the December game.
see, like, I hope you're right.
That'd be so
I
hype.
hope you're right. I just have my doubts. And
I was like,
I also like. I really hope you're right, and I hope that the game slaps. But I also have a little bit of worry just because so much of that old Bioware team is gone, and then I also it's just recent Bioware just doesn't make those, like, they come out so late, they play them all the time. I don't think they've stuck by an actual release date since Mass Effect 2 or something like that. They just keep playing their games all the time, every time, even after they have a solid release date.
What was Anthem the last Bioware game?
Was it? No, it wasn't. No, was it?
That's been
What came out first? Was it Andromeda or Anthem?
dropped first. Anthem 2019.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a while.
Oh no, I don't. I want Dreadwolf to come out, and I hope also that it's really good because I loved it.
I didn't care for Inquisition. I said.
Sorry, Caitlin.
I also didn't care for Inquisition.
I bought the Inquisition.
I bought it on sale that
Actually,
holiday season.
my hot take when it comes to Dragon Age games is
Oh boy.
I actually don't like Dragon Age Origins. And
I
like,
didn't care for that one either.
so like for me, Dragon Age Origins, like, and then my other hot take when it comes to Dragon Age is like I actually like Dragon Age 2. I don't like the gameplay of Dragon Age 2, but I like the story of Dragon Age 2. So like whenever I go into like any sort of BioWare communities and I drop those hot takes, I'm just like sent to the crucifixion. Because if you talk bad about Origins and talk good about Dragon Age 2, you're the devil incarnate to them. So
game. But that one, you're dumb.
Did any of you look into the Pirate Queen of Forgotten Legend? Because this one may actually, I'm considering picking this one up real early.
Which one?
The Pirate Queen
What is
of
that?
Forgotten Legend.
I don't even know what that is.
I know, right?
I want to be a pirate queen. How do I get to do that?
So it's a VR game, which is sus. Let me start off. VR, we're a little bit sus about this. But the game is narrated by Lucy Liu, and if there is somebody who can carry a VR narration,
What's the Kyle? You're gonna tell me what was the one that just came out on Oculus that everyone loves?
Asgar's Wrath 2.
His mother gives him
Okay,
so much.
that I just found out that's like the Sly Cooper 4 team.
Yeah.
And I know shit. That was wild to me. Tim, also, the game I was talking about is Bandle Tale, a League of Legends story.
Yep.
Sorry, we have COVID on our side.
look, I want you to know that if Riot starts producing games, these fantasy drafts are going to get a lot easier for me because I'll just pick them.
All the League of Legends stuff is Tim's.
Doesn't matter if they're good or not. It's the least I could do after they have saved me literally thousands of dollars in gaming at this point in time in my life. Other thing I hope for, so like looking at these games and looking at the games that are coming out, I really hope that the gaming industry looks at Baldur's Gate 3 and learns that one of the reasons why people just grab that game is because it was a complete game for $60 fucking that you could play for hours.
and you could fuck everyone.
Okay, well.
Like beyond the fact that sex scene is like the easiest, literally some of the easiest portion of the game to actually play. It's a complete game with hours of entertainment attached to it. You don't have any in-game purchases. It doesn't do any microtransactions, and I think that was such a cool thing to show that you can in fact make this work.
It's just good old-fashioned game developer design and game developer strategies, and that's what I love about it. None of this modern bull crap AAA studio garbage.
Can't keep up with the other kids, so I feel bad.
Can't find my Fortnite skin.
Look, I don't want. Okay, I do want to be able to purchase skins for my Crash Bandicoot game, but that's just because I have a problem.
Hey.
But I think that puts us quite a bit. We're hour 20 here. I think that'll end off the draft. I will post our draft if you want to follow along on socials. We do bids weekly. I believe they process Saturday nights.
I already have 4 bids.
They have what? You're crazy. They do have upcoming release schedule on the site itself of all the stuff we picked. So our first points will be 3 titles this month. Actually, we'll have Prince of Persia, Tekken 8, and Like a Dragon all releasing in January to get the first points of the year up. So with that will be it for episode 8. Thank you everyone for following along with my schemes and stuff. Oh yeah. 10 minutes to process. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you everyone for joining. And that'll do us here for episode 8. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.
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 Thanks for having me again. Bye.
Yes, for sure.
Bye.